You're now listening to episode 84 of Signed In, an Xbox 360 podcast, recorded on December 17th, 2011. Find us online at signedinpodcast.com. Welcome back to Signed In. I feel like we just did this. I'm Jeremy Superpro 33.
I am Craig from the future.
Wow. Hello, Craig from the future.
By the time that you're
Prof Dresser.
by the time
2012.
by the time you guys hear this, I have changed my name on Xbox to Candy Sucks.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Who are you?
I'm Sean Chonix.
Awesome. But by the time they hear this, all three of us might be dead.
That's true. I'm more likely.
Think on that one.
More
And
likely I
something
will.
to look forward to.
Finally.
for all of us.
me, yeah.
For all of us. I mean, that's a win-win-win.
That was our present to everyone. Our deaths.
So
Let's
you're
hear
listening,
if we all
you're
three
listening to
die
this
before this is
posthumously.
aired.
I'll see what I can do.
What? That's
Well, I'll still have to be around to get the episode out. But you guys, I'm
Set
sorry.
it on a timer.
Sorry to hear.
or put
That's
that in
true.
your will.
My will.
Jeez.
Somebody publish this. Here's the instruction.
After spending a night in a haunted house.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna will. I'm gonna write that in my will. They have to stay in a crappy, shitty house. Yeah, I'm doing it. And then my other part of my
And then
will.
they'll be there like, there's nothing wrong with this house except that maybe it's got like roaches and
No,
shit.
but that's gonna be my other part of the will. I'll have a guy that will go to the house to scare him.
You gotta go hire a homeless guy.
No, he'll be maybe one of you guys. Oh, you'll be dead. Not right.
right.
Damn.
You want everybody to act out the movie Clue.
Yeah.
That's your will for
awesome.
for anything. The problem is you're not going to have anything to leave to people. So why are they going to go through all this effort?
Well, I am not.
You need to get a big vault and then just have nothing in it, but have the
Yes.
big vault, and so then we won't open this vault until you do this.
And then there's just like a ha.
But other than video
It's
games,
just it's your composition books in there,
that's creepy.
like 7.
Yeah, that's creepy though. But see, people don't. There's people out there that think comic books are worth money, so they might actually think I'm sitting on a gold mine. So
I was kidding before, but now I'm killing you guys completely because this is too funny. So sorry, everybody. But anyway, hope everybody had a good New Year.
Yeah.
And didn't die.
And didn't die, like us. Hopefully,
if
fingers
you
crossed.
did, then you're a ghost listening to this, and I'm kind of freaked out.
That's crazy. I don't even know how you use the mouse. But
You just hover over somebody who's listening to us.
there you go.
you get
Squeezing in next to him.
you
on the
get a
headphones.
hold. You get a hold of Whoopi or that guy on the subway, and he teaches you how to move it.
Oh, okay. Everything you know, you learn from Ghost.
Hell yeah!
Which is why I will not do pottery with you.
No one will.
So anyway, you can't tell from the beginning because this has sounded like a normal show so far.
We're on deck.
But this is going to be a little different of a show because we are going to actually be taking the next 3.5 hours and what it'll feel like 3.5 hours and looking back at our favorites from 2011. And looking forward to what we're anticipating from 2012. We also have some input from the listeners, from maybe just you yourself. Yeah, you.
Maybe.
Right there. You, not you.
The dude with the ghost listening behind him.
Not you. You didn't email us, Dick. But you. Thank you. So
You're in the will.
we got a number of folks that emailed us in their comments and suggestions for their favorites of 2011, as well as what they're looking forward to in 2012. So we have a lot of those to share with people as well. A couple of you went above and beyond and gave quite a bit of explanation as to why you have your choices.
Yeah, fuck
And-
you guys.
No, we appreciate that. I do. So we'll be sharing those comments as well. So some of you just gave us a name, and some of you gave us a lot of composition, and that was awesome. So thank you very much.
blah 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 blah.
That's how I'm going to read them all. Blah, 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 blah. I like this game. Whatever.
OMG.
OMG, shut up. So let's just dive into right
Should
now.
be our catchphrase.
That's our offshoot show that we're going to do. OMG, shut up.
I'm working on that.
It's new out of continuity. OMG, shut up. We just talk about TV shows and whatever else we want to. Let's do that. I'm
But we
writing that
just
down.
hate everything.
Yeah.
that other people like.
Naturally. It's what I do. All right, so let's kick off our favorite 2011 with, again, the most pointless category, the Avatar.
Why do you guys always look at me? I hate that.
Because it's the
No,
honorary Sean
actually,
category.
we should leave him for last. Let's start with you, Jeremy.
I got nothing.
Nothing.
I don't have
Nothing.
anything.
Nothing.
I don't care. Probably my Twisted Pixel sweatshirt.
See? There's something.
So there you go. That's something because I love that thing, but I don't care about any of the
and
other
that thing
ones
is awesome.
so much.
Okay, mine.
Yes.
My rock
Prove
of,
me wrong.
My Rock of Ages Boulder helmet.
That is, you do wear that. That is
Thing is
awesome.
I don't think I've ever taken that damn thing off
So
because it is hilarious.
So we'll be 3 for 3 on Avatar Awards because mine came from Toy Soldiers Cold War. The Rambo hair
The mullet.
yeah.
and
mullet.
the Maverick leather jacket because that shit is.
Wait, so you picked two?
awesome. No, I'm just saying those.
It's not fair.
Then the Rambo hair.
It's
The complete
It's his
package.
favorite Avatar ensemble.
Yeah.
It's ensemble.
Ensemble.
Because you can put on the ratty jeans and look like a bum.
You did for a while.
I know, and I love it. I love it.
That's
wanted to cheat and use Unbound Saga, but it came out last year. But I bought
Oh,
it
for
this
your
year.
comics?
Cheater.
$2 for those awesome.
That's true.
Awards.
We got some.
It's pretty much cheaper than it would be for an actual.
Which way you bought the
That's
game?
why I bought the game.
If I remember
only-
correctly.
No, I never put that part together
it's the
though.
only
That it
reason.
would normally probably be about $3.
Yeah, yeah.
If you just combine.
I think I called him out on the show for it when we were talking about it. That you only bought it because you wanted that Avatar.
No, I know, but the price differential
Yeah.
never dawned on me.
It's a cheaper way to go.
It is. I save money.
We had a couple write-ins for this as well, if you can believe it. We had
How many people wrote in for my boulder head?
nobody did the boulder head.
Have you not seen my boulder head?
We got a nomination for the Skyrim dragon armor. There's actually a couple different Skyrims. The Skyrim dragon itself, the character. Somebody wrote in also the golem outfit, which I think was for the Middle Earth stuff,
the
the
War in
Lord of
the
the
North.
Rings stuff. Yeah,
That'd be creepy. I haven't seen that.
Somebody nominated the
seen that
Robin
either.
T-shirt, not the
Nice.
Robin costume, but the T-shirt itself.
Oh, hey, all the like the Green Lantern one, the
Yeah.
Batman one, the Nightwing one.
one.
I'm sorry, but those got in there, but not close enough.
Somebody else was the Connectimals pet props, which I don't know if I even saw. Did they have like animals that were
They must
from
have.
that game?
I
I
guess
must
so.
have.
And then $8, who we know from the forums, it didn't count for this year, but he still nominated his pug. Which, since I'm a pug owner, I'm supporting and allowing him to do because it's still awesome.
No boulder head.
But it's no boulder head. That is
It
correct.
isn't.
All right, so there
When I do the robot.
we stormed through the Avatar.
I forgot. Yeah, that is awesome. That you have that robot. That is. Oh, I forgot to even tell you about that.
All
I
right,
never
so
mentioned that.
we're gonna move
Sorry.
on. Favorites. The next favorites for 2011 DLC.
DLC.
What do you guys think of that?
Look.
Who wants to
as
start?
I like to
I'll
call
start.
it.
I don't care.
You started the last one, but go ahead.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, you do it. This is good radio.
My pick for DLC, it was really close. Because I'm also going to include some runner-ups on some of these categories probably. But Wavy Two Man Chronicles was really close for me
That was good.
because I loved it and I thought that it was really well done. And it was free.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
But there's nobody else that can touch my winner this year, which would be Pinball Effects 2. Because it is the breadth of the DLC, which is a little cheating.
It's kind of a cheat because
I know
the
it is.
DLC is the game.
I know it's kind of a cheat. But if you look at my terrible record of playing DLC this year, you'll know that I was slim pickings if I wanted to be honest about anything.
That's funny.
So I'm counting them as DLC, and they are still delivering the goods, and it's amazing. I love their stuff.
Excellent.
DLC wise, I liked a lot of the stuff that I got for DLC, which is always a good thing. But the one that got me was Paranormal Table by Pinball and FX.
Oh, see, he went specific, though.
I did, of course I did.
I went so generic.
I
with all
went
of the
specific,
DLC.
and the only reason I went
Sean only cheated
I
once.
cheat all the time.
I specific because that table at the
Yeah.
time was free
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun, and I just that right there it won me over. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Well, fuck you guys. I didn't cheat.
How did I cheat? That's DLC.
My choice.
It is.
My choice was Dead Space 2's Severed, which actually I guess because if you remember it's totally divorced from the regular story and is like this one security guard on the other side of the colony, and so he's making his way in the opposite direction of your main character, and so just that kind of twist, and then kind of seeing the story from both sides, and it was an interesting way to extend the story without actually extending the main story.
And I still haven't played it.
Well, that was another reason I chose it. Yes,
I'm terrible.
Yeah, that's exactly
the
why I
reason.
chose it. Actually,
I'm gonna totally play it over the break that we just had.
Sure.
Is it called Skyrim now?
I probably played it in the
Or is
last
it
2
called
weeks.
Pinball Effects Skyrim? No table.
No, it is not.
We already talked about that table.
We did have some write-ins though. Somebody wrote in the Valentine's Day duets pack for Rock Band.
Oh, that was
The
some good
7-pack.
stuff. That was actually some good stuff.
I believe that was Snakehead Fish who said that he enjoyed singing it with his wife. So
Yeah.
there was a specific to that. Yeah,
the
sweet.
duets were fun.
Who cares?
Yeah, I know. What a
That's
jerk.
sweet stuff. Somebody
Saying a
else wrote in.
contest.
Somebody else wrote in the free paranormal table for Pinball FX. So you got that.
Also
Sean.
a cheater.
That was
and
me. No,
It was you.
yeah, I emailed them in.
We also had Wavy 2-Man Chronicles from a couple other folks.
Yeah.
I think you guys just looked at this list and copied
It
it.
is exactly what I did. We had a couple.
He did.
We had a couple votes for Fallout New Vegas. It was the whatever Blues. What is that one? Dead Man Blues? No, Dead Money, and then Old Time Blues. I can't remember what the name of it was. But we had one that was actually written in that specifically was talking about that DLC, and that comes from BuckyCat98. And she says that when just the opening 20 to 30 minutes of DLC keeps me laughing, it's a good sign.
Oh, wow.
On top of that, there's the ongoing interweaving of the stories across New Vegas and Dead Money, and even to a certain degree, Honest Hearts, which are the other DLC offerings that they have made. I don't think I'm supposed to care about the saga of a character whom I left behind in earlier DLC, and who has a tie to a favored companion in the main game, but I do. And finding evidence of her presence across the Big Empty continued to make this feel like more of just a shoot and loot excursion. Thank you, Obsidian. So there you go. I still need to play New Vegas in general.
I know.
I'm terrible. That's going to be a reoccurring theme.
This show is just going to be making you feel terrible.
It is.
I
It
think
is.
that's why you're going to be dead in 2012 because
I'm going to kill myself.
You're going to get done with this episode and you're like, what have I done with my year?
This episode will exist as a suicide note.
This is getting a little dark, actually.
Let's
move on.
You opened it up. All right, so let's move on to Connect Game, since we're all in that area now. So what are our favorite Connect games of 2011? Since we have a number of them.
For me, Dance Central 2.
Dance Central 2.
Well, because I kind of got my
Groove
Connect-
back.
exactly.
Finally.
I got my Connect dosage and concentrate this year since I just got it this fall. And so I was playing Dance Central and then Dance Central 2. And, just the same way with DJ Hero 2 over DJ Hero, just a massive improvement over the gameplay and the intuitiveness of the game. And just, I really, really enjoyed all the new features for it and continue to have fun with it. As an honorable mention, though, Gunstringer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very strong contender there because
My winner's Gunstringer.
very good.
And then I played a lot of Connect games this year. I felt like I played a lot of Connect games this year, and some of them were more fun than others. Some of them I had some problems with. Gunstringer was the only one that worked on like all the levels for me. I thought the controls were really well done. I thought that the story was fun. I still need to finish it.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I hate myself.
I hate you.
I hate myself. I haven't finished it either.
I'm telling you.
I know.
What's wrong with you people?
'Cause
it's
I
like a
suck.
6-hour game.
I know, because I suck.
There's a lot. We can talk about it after the show.
After 5 hours,
Get into it. I don't wanna get into
fall
it here.
over dead. No, I don't do that.
But it is my pick easily because it is the most enjoyable Connect game that I've played all
It's
year.
very fun.
So
Yeah.
you're
Well,
in the same boat?
I'm not in the same boat.
Oh, no.
But wait,
I'm waiting.
this one was
Rise of
this,
Nightmares.
This one, it's on my list. This one was the hardest. Connect was the hardest one because I like playing each. I really have a fun time playing each game because I like to see what that the machine can do, and it's really neat when other things are happening.
Lead me's.
Another good one. But
Stop trying to steal his answer.
But Connect Sports Season 2, I'm not answering yet. Connect Sports Season 2, I really love.
In the whole game.
Yes.
Hole in the wall.
Child of Eden, I had a lot of fun with. I
Yeah,
just thought it looked pretty. Hole in the Wall, no.
No, I was
fun,
laughing at me calling it In the Hole,
In the hole.
which is a very different
It's a
game.
different Connect game.
Yes.
Rise of Nightmare to go, because that was just, in the end, it was fun, but
Yeah.
in the end, it was Gunstringer. I mean, those are my honorable mentions, but in the end, it was Gunstringer. I mean, it's that company.
Yeah.
It's the whole setup from the very beginning. You pull the thing over, and it's just, I had a lot of fun with it. Just the way it's set up, all that, it's fun.
We love it so much we might almost finish it sometime.
I might one day, but that's
I'm
even.
gonna finish with the DLC, and I'm like, boy, your guys' favorite game, favorite Connect game. It's really awesome.
Well, that's the thing that
spoil it
that's
for
what
you
I
guys.
love about that game is that
You don't have to play it all to know that it's the best.
I haven't finished it, and it still was. And I've played
way to
some
spin
fun. I've played some fun Connect games. Connect Sports Season 2 was friggin' awesome, but Gunstringer just because it was fun. So
Well, we had some nominations for this as
Or
well.
funny.
Gunstringer came up a lot. Child of Eden came up in a couple places. $8 wrote in another one, which must be the game that you were pitching, Sean, which was Windowless Van Stalker 2011, the elementary school edition, which I think we mentioned a couple episodes ago that you were playing that game.
I'm still waiting on that.
Was that from the Disneyland Adventures?
I got
that you were-
I got it on a Kickstarter program
Yeah.
right now, and I haven't got that much donated. yet.
Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Give me a link. I'll tweet it out. We'll get some funding on that so we can get that child molestation game up for you. Or is it just kidnapping?
Kidnapping.
Okay.
Yes. No. Yeah.
You're not gross about
that's
it.
DLC.
You're just a murderer. All right. We had a couple other more explanatory, though, write-ins, and one coming from our friend Kush from Pixelated Sausage, who also does another podcast, Pixelated Radio. And he says this is a tougher question than it has any right to be, which I would agree with. He wants to say Child of Eden because he loved Rez and did enjoy his time with Child of Eden, but no Kinect game has grabbed him like the Gunstringer. The mechanics worked most of the time. The music was awesome, as only Chainsaw can deliver, which I would agree with 100%. And that Twisted Pixel charm is hard not to love.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun to play with another person, actually.
See, I haven't experienced
That's-
that, and you have.
That's why I think that's why I pushed through it so quickly,
Yeah.
and you guys didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it is quite a bit of fun.
Cool.
And then we also got a write-in
It
from
takes it's a relief too. you
I
don't
can
have
imagine,
to worry so
yeah,
hard.
Yeah.
another
Work so hard.
Another comment from the forums, Lunchbox 700. He wrote in to let us know whatever piece of crap that game is that you guys hated, because I like it when you guys hate things. So I pretty much could guess that's about 4 different Kinect games probably this year that we complained about, probably.
I'm trying to.
Or maybe he means
I'm
my
trying-
Disneyland Adventures complaint.
Maybe that was a good one.
And that's probably because he just likes you yelling at me.
Send me a check and I'll do it every day.
All right, moving on. Our favorite indie game of 2011.
This was tough.
This is going to be tough.
This
There's a
was the
lot
tough
of them.
Go ahead, Sean.
Is it not hard, Sean?
This
Tell
one
me.
was a little tough for me. I like indie just for the whole fact that there's some great games in there for $1 price point, and it's
Right.
just some of them are just flat out steals. Robot Platformer 1 and 2 came out. I fell in love with that game.
2 in a year.
And I thought they were fantastic. It was the design that caught me and the sound. I thought it was good. But mine went to Radiant Games Ballistic.
Was that this year?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, man.
It was the last
was the
of the
last.
Radiant games, and it still holds up because I did a lot of playing. Because indie was hard for me. I just had a
Yeah.
hard time, thinking. And I went back and played a lot of games, and I went and played Ballistic again. Yeah.
And it was hands down.
Oh my god.
No question.
It's just so crazy and out of control fun, and it's just, the music's good and the graphics are fantastic, and this one, it was a good, end to that run on indie games. So yeah,
Awesome.
Ballistic.
I also had a problem because I had a lot of indie games that I enjoyed this year.
And a lot that you didn't play.
And a lot that I didn't play. Thank you. I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm done. I hate myself. Did I mention that?
Yes.
This is a holiday episode. I mean, that's pretty much par for the course, right?
The worst. There was a lot that came out recently that I enjoyed a lot. We had a Scapegoat, which I really liked.
Ah, very good.
There's a number like the Dead Pixels that just came out a little while ago. That was also another one that was
Yes.
really strong for me. I really enjoyed Wizorb.
Yeah.
I also love that game.
All of which were on my short list.
Full Chaos.
Techno Kitten Adventure.
No, that one didn't make it to my short
That
list.
made it on my list.
Which one?
Awesome.
Exclamation point or non?
Exclamation point.
Oh, okay. Techno Kitten Adventure.
Sorry, I didn't say it happy enough. I really like. I'm going to save this one because you might have it. I don't want to ruin yours. I'm guessing. I'm trying to see, and if you didn't, we'll talk about it then. But my pick this year, it hit on a lot of different areas. We categorize these as our favorites of the year because they're not necessarily the best games.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're our favorites and the most enjoyable. And this one impacted me the most, and that was DLC Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that game was hilarious.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to it, but it was funny, and it hit me at the right time, and it hit me on the right chord, or at the right chord, and I just loved it. So that's my pick
Excellent.
for the year.
Now, for my pick, I don't know if we'll allow this, but I'm not going to force it in like you
Cheater.
guys do. No, I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm asking if we'll allow this
Better than us.
because this came out on December 30th, 2010.
You can allow Cthulhu Saves the World.
and it came out after our last best of episode.
We've reviewed it, and we will allow it.
All right, Cthulhu Saves the World. I just recently got.
I was prepared for that one.
Went back to Breath of Death 7 because I had never finished that one, and I finally finished it, and it was good.
Finally, it's nice of you to finally finish a game.
I know. I'll let him get those in.
Yeah, I got to take it when I can.
Exactly.
Seriously.
It's the holiday season. I'll give. I'm giving at the office, and but Cthulhu Saves the World. There's just something about how it was just kind of integrated all together, and then there's all the humor in there, and just the design and the character interaction, and it was just really such a step up. They took everything that worked really well from Breath of Death 7 and really just kind of expanded on it.
Right.
And it's been very successful for them outside of the XBLA and the indie games market as well. So I did have some honorable mentions. Scapegoat, Sequence. And the top of my honorables mentions, this was a very tough
And this is the one I skipped.
fight
I have a
between
feeling.
Cthulhu Saves the World and Blocks That Matter.
Correct.
Which did have some, actually, they did an update, but it was basically DLC. And I went back and did that. And so now they have all new challenge rooms added to there. And so if you go back and replay the levels and finish it with like the maximum number of blocks that basically you can finish, like keep storing blocks in the Tetrabot when you get to the end, then you get a star, and the stars unlock new challenge rooms, and those challenge rooms are tough as hell, but it's great. And so, I mean, that's a really great game. All of those that we've talked about have been really great.
That's
games.
the one I skipped because I figured that was going to be pretty high for you.
Yeah, it was very close.
Because I know you love that game.
Oh my god, I still do.
I will say one of the things I noticed towards the end of this year, and is maybe the second half of this year, a lot more of these indie developers starting on indie, like XBLIG, and then going on to Steam.
Right.
And lots, and you know, so in the previous years, we'd have them show up either on the internet, you know, online, on Steam, or on some other format, and then show up on the indie games, or maybe just the indie games, and that was it.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are showing up on the indie games and then going to Steam later and getting a lot
onto handheld devices
and getting a lot more success and a lot more eyes on them. And that's one in particular because Blocks That Matter was getting a ton of press coverage when it was on Steam, being offered there. Wizorb is another one that was getting a ton of attention when it moved off of indie games, which I love that they're on indie games because I don't play stuff on Steam. I don't play stuff on the PC.
Right.
But I'm really happy for them to be able to expand out too.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't stop on the indie game side.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to see them there.
It's not easy for them, but we do appreciate their efforts.
Yeah, and we got a couple of the write-ins for the indie games as well. Wizorb was obviously mentioned. Dead Pixels,
Very good.
Fortress Craft, which I know we talked about messing around with a couple times. Solar 2 is another write-in.
That's a very good one.
And then Fishcraft / Angry Fish, which I think both came out this year, which was like the Angry Birds version on indie games, which I don't think I ever really got too into, but
it's a physics-based game, so I don't really get into it. But I was surprised you guys didn't. Play
I didn't try it out because I already have my hamster
Gerbil physics.
Gerbil physics.
Hamster geometry.
Hamster geometry.
You know,
good times.
One thing we didn't talk about with the dashboard, but if you go into your games, then if you go over to the left, they actually recommend games, like similar games. And that includes that includes indie games. It's not just XBLA games or downloadable.
They pull in
full
some
games.
of those.
They have indie games because I remember the very first one I looked at was Gerbil Physics 2 was one of the recommended games that I thought of you, Sean.
Thanks.
So, there you go.
You should have played it.
Can I look at gerbils? I always think I'm
I don't
myself.
like physics games a whole lot.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
That's for the listeners.
All right, moving on. We're going on to Xbox Live Arcade. XBLA.
I don't even want. Can we
hard.
skip this? Seriously.
Indie games was hard, but this was really hard.
I know. Try looking at it when only 10% of the games you played you finished.
True.
Should that make that easier for you?
No, it doesn't because it doesn't weigh in on my decision.
All right. You guys want me to start this one?
Whatever you'd like. Sure. You spoke up. Do it.
Okay. My big winner, and this was a very hard fought battle.
I can imagine.
But
Mr. XBLA.
Yeah.
But my winner, my favorite game from XBLA, my choice, can I extend this out any further?
You probably could.
Was Gatling Gears.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because
I could have seen you going with like 8 different things.
Yeah, me too.
I got some honorable mentions to throw in here
I don't wanna hear 'em.
in a moment, but Gatling Gears, because I picked that game up and I'm like, well, I was hopeful for it because it's from the folks who made Greed Corp, and I really liked that game. But at the same time, Greed Corp had a few flaws, and I could see those flaws. I didn't care about them, but that was the result why very few people play Greed Corp. And so, I wasn't sure where that was going to go, and they were changing it up to a twin-stick shooter. And there had been some twin-stick shooter flops in the year previous to Gatling Gears coming out, and so I was kind of down on twin-stick shooters at that point. And I picked it up, and just shit was exploding, and it was blazingly loud, and just a wonderful package. And I had so much fun with it. I immediately bought it, and I played through it several times, and played through it with multiplayer as well. It's got that's a lot of fun, and just I've really gotten my 1,200 points out of that game.
That game is beautiful.
It's
I
so
think
good.
it's amazing looking.
Do you want me to save my honorable mentions
No, go
till
for
after
it.
you guys? No, I'll save it till after you guys are done.
That works. We'll go through them that way.
That way, if you guys have to mention it first.
My favorite was Tough as Well. There's one that I think that would be, but I'm not picking it.
What Tough as Well was, because I don't remember that coming to the. I thought that was the name of it.
No, I honestly did because I'm stupid. Duh.
He was almost going to ask.
That's
but
why I
don't
always
remember
bust
that game.
myself. I almost did,
But then you did anyway. You
and
might
I
as well.
bust myself out. That's what I do. That's why I'm dumb.
There's one that I believe would be the answer if I would have finished it, but I didn't. So I'm not letting myself do that in this category.
Okay.
My pick is Stacking.
Stacking, very good.
That
was one of my honorable mentions.
Loved that game. I love the atmosphere of that game. I think it's a ton of fun, and it hit me on every note that it possibly could. And it was also a factor of it was a fun game to play with somebody else.
Right.
It's not a 2-player game.
No.
But with somebody else in the room, and especially my wife, who also is into that sort of stuff, or that design work, I guess, it was a fun experience. And it was just a great time all around, and I loved every bit of it.
Very much so.
And I still haven't played the DLC for it. I know.
God,
I'm gonna make.
He
a
says
whole
that
list.
every show.
I'm gonna make the whole list, and I'm getting it done.
I think every show.
I promise you.
And I still haven't played the DLC for it. I still haven't even played it yet.
That's his catchphrase. Sean, what about you?
Yeah, thrill us.
Thrill us. Thriller from Manila. Thriller from Manila. There's a lot of games that I didn't finish that I thought were beautiful and I had a lot of fun. And I didn't. I did get back and play a couple. Renegade Ops
You've
is
only
one.
played the first level.
No, I finished the second. Yo.
Oh, that must be pretty new.
What? Yeah, it was.
It shows me your high scores.
It was. It actually was. Gatling Gears, I haven't finished that, and that thing's just a beautiful game.
Yeah, I love Gatling Gears too.
But mine, and this one kind of in the end, I was a little bit surprised by it because it was a game that frustrated and pissed me off like there was no other. But in the end, I had such a fun time playing it, and I'd like to go back and play some more Hardcore Rising for some odd reason. Because I don't know why. That should be the most surprising game, but it's not. But
that's the most surprising for me.
But to me, that game, I had a game that drives me nuts. I usually quit right now. And this one, it just kept me going and kept me, I kept playing it because it was like there was some fun being had in it, even though it was driving me nuts at times. But I had a lot of fun with it. I think as you leveled up and keep getting your guy better, easy for me to say.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
The transition of it or the progression of it, you loved.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean,
It was really
jump to
well
the helicopter. In addition to those, though, for my honorable mentions, I did have Stacking.
You can
on
now.
there.
We were just talking about that. You can watch his video on the YouTube.
That's right.
On your Xbox.
Oh, what was it called again, Sean?
Sean's fail video.
Yeah.
Sean's fail video.
Or just look up Shambi with a Z.
Sean B with the Z.
I have so many
What
stupid
the fuck
names.
is that? Another name?
Jambi, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho.
Check it before you wreck it.
But in addition, I had honorable mentions. Trenched was another fantastic game and was a very close contender with Gatling Gears and Bastion. Bastion was my enslaved this year in terms of storytelling and presentation, and just a game that I really cherish.
Bastion's the one that probably would be my pick if I would have gotten it finished.
You really should finish it.
Here's my problem, and I'm going to justify myself on Bastion. I went away when that game came out.
Right.
And so when I came back, I felt too burdened to get back into it, and I just have not gotten back into it.
Yeah, it's very flimsy.
It's not flimsy. You know what?
You felt burdened?
I saw somebody on Twitter having this conversation. I don't know if it was a guy from IGN. Oh, no, IGN
I don't think
or
that counts. They're
GameSpot
crazy.
or Joystick or something. I don't know who he was from, but he was talking about he still thinks the biggest cockblock of video gaming is players trying to get back into games, but the looming of the like learning the controls again, completely blocking them from getting in, and that is my problem 100%. Like I think about, I should finish that game. I don't want to have to relearn everything. And if I would just do it, I'd be fine. Exactly.
That are shown on the HUD.
Exactly. If I would do it, I'd be fine. But it's the mental block that I have. It's whatever. It's an issue. I'm glad to know I'm not alone. That's all I'm saying.
Because I did relearn the controls when I went back to finish my New Game Plus.
Can we also identify the fact you're smarter than me? I understand that.
What about Full House Poker? Did anybody enjoy playing that game this
I didn't
year?
play it at all.
I thought it was okay.
Russian Attack?
We got that written in. Let me go through here what we got from some other folks, which is Full House Poker, Torchlight, a lot of people with Bastion. That was for a number of people. Pinball FX 2, which didn't come out this year, but I would count that as DLC.
That's a cheat. That was only for you. I know who that was.
Elo Milo, which was another one.
Was that this year? I think that was last fall.
No, it was the winter release. It's the problem with that game is that it came out early, but the official release date wasn't until I think January of this year.
Yeah. Okay,
So
now I remember.
it was weird.
It was that over Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
I guess I didn't factor that one in because I thought it was last year.
So that was, that'd be another one for you, I'm sure, because you enjoyed that game a lot.
I still love that game.
And then we also had mentioned, and this was one for me too, Bejeweled 3, because it is awesome. It is so well done.
I believe you.
I mean, it combines so many different levels of if you want a taxing thing where you feel pressure to do things, or if you just want a layback version of the game. There's so many different play options on there, which it's just so well done. We did have a couple more things on that as well. Bucky Cat 98 wrote us again to let us know that her pick for this would be Beautiful with a cheerful soundtrack. Elo Milo is fun to play alone or with my daughter, which is another important aspect that doesn't apply to any of us that we don't think about sometimes.
I have played some. Oh, the daughter.
With the kids, the kid aspect.
Yeah. I did play some with the multiplayer. That was kind of fun because you fly around as this little fly when the other person's controlling it.
Oh,
You can point out like blocks. Go over here. Beep, 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 beep.
She also says, but so many great games on XBLA this year, which I'll agree with. She burned through multiple 1,600 and 4,000 point cards, still doesn't have enough time to play everything that she bought. A digital self of shame is hers. And I hear you, sister. Seriously. As I've said 100 times. We're not really sisters.
I hear you, sister.
John 8U, who we know from the forums and also the Burnt Wieners podcast, also wrote us in and said that Microbot would have been his choice if it wasn't for Bastion. Had Bastion and its kick-ass art style and music not made this a no-brainer for him. This is only the third game I have 100% of the achievements because frankly, most times I don't care, but every one of them was a goal I wanted to complete in this game. Engaging story that was 10 times more interesting because of the constant spoken narrative. It had a wonderful fantasy Old West feeling to it and simple controls with insane replayability. I know this is a game I will play through a third and fourth time this next year. Wonderful, and it touched my heart as much as other games like Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger, Braid, and Beyond Good and Evil did.
Yeah.
And then also on the Bastion bandwagon is Kush again with Bastion. Without question, the game is beautiful on all fronts, and it is in my running for the favorite game of the year, period. The narration is what most people talked about, remember, and while I loved it, I love the game for everything else. The story was surprisingly engaging and featured one of my most favorite endings in recent memory.
Yeah,
I need to get in on that.
When I went through for New Game
I'm an
Plus,
idiot.
I chose all the alternate options that I didn't choose my first playthrough, and I'm like, this isn't nearly as good. It was just because the choices I made in my first playthrough just resonated so amazingly.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Anyway,
I should get that done.
you should.
All right, we're going to move
There's
on
a lot
to
you should do.
we're going to move on to multiplayer,
Multiplayer.
which
I wish I had like little sound effects for every one of these.
we get on it. Which we talked about last year, failing at multiplayer throughout 2010, and I feel that I did the same thing this year.
I got some multiplayer options.
That's good.
I played multiplayer games.
Good.
Multiplayer games?
Go for it, Sean.
Did Blur come out this year?
No. Shush.
What? That was multiplayer?
I know, but I wanted to write it in.
That was his pick last
It was
year.
my pick
was
last year.
it?
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
honestly couldn't remember.
And I honestly wanted to do it again.
You would have got away with it with him.
But I didn't even play it. That was the thing.
that hurts it.
I had a lot of fun with the Bulletstorm multiplayer. There's some crazy things that happened in those games. Playing with Mr. 50 and Fro, and it was. I had a lot of fun with that. Kinect Sports. I didn't really go online and play multiplayer, but I did play multiplayer.
Oh, local multiplayer.
And I really, bowling. More of the season 2 with the golf. I had a lot of fun with that. But it came down to, and the most multiplayer I did, and the favorite experiences, good experiences,
Troll it.
Full House Poker.
Oh.
And I'm not kidding.
And that's funny considering how everybody thinks it's terrible multiplayer because of all the problems it had.
I've gotten, that was the thing. We've, people from the forums tried to set up rooms and things like that, and that those things failed. But I have played multiple games other than that, and I've gotten into some rooms where I hate people and I just mute them, or I just I'm quiet and play. But I've gotten into some rooms where it's guys that want to play poker, and they're not just going all in every hand. And
they're actually playing.
And there's been some conversation, and there's just been some fun, and that, you get those stoners that come in at like 3:30 in the morning, and they're just like, and then they just lose all your money to you. It's so fantastic. So yeah, and that's what blew my mind is that of all the games got it.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you still have fun with it. I need to play some more of that, and I would love to get in sometime when we play like on a table together.
Yeah, I
see you playing once in a while.
It's fun.
Cool.
I listen to music.
You're really getting into the multiplayer experience there. I turn everybody off and I listen to some music.
But they're there fucking up his game.
But then I don't have to listen to the music for Full House Poker because it's all like.
Mine was a more actual multiplayer experience. My choice was Trenched, also now known as Iron Brigade, actually, because I played the hell out of the Trenched.
We got to write in that was a multiplayer pick of Trenched because of you playing with them.
Yeah.
Well, not because of you, but they picked because they played with you, and like it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we had for most of it we had a 3-man squad, but then later we got a 4-man squad, and it was just that was really the highlight of that whole game was playing in the multiplayer. And it really shined really well and really changed the way that you play the game. And so I think that's a key of really great multiplayer, and it was the same as the single player. So yeah, I mean, you could bypass a single player experience with that if you wanted to, or you could have just a single player experience with
whichever way you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So nice. I thought that was really well incorporated, and it was just
awesome.
a ton of fun. I got an honorable mention, but I'll wait till after you have yours.
My pick is a total troll answer.
Troll answer.
I'm trolling with this pick.
Okay.
People are gonna hate this.
Right.
My best multiplayer experience I had this year was hands down.
Oh. I think I know what it is.
You don't know, Jack.
Okay.
Oh.
Was my multiplayer experience, and it was local multiplayer experience, which still applies.
Yeah.
I don't think I did any online games with it, which you can.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I played locally with multiple people, and it was awesome.
And if I remember, it's because you were partially afraid of people having further experience.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
the games.
Because it went on whoever was running the game, like their next game, basically.
Yeah.
So who knows if they played. But as far as a multiplayer game, get 2 to 3, 4 people in a room and play that game, it's still a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And I really wanted that game to be good, and it lived up to it and beyond with the version that they had on Xbox.
Yeah, I
and
need to
there's
push through
so
some more.
much content on it that you can play forever. Yeah. Well, not forever. I guess it depends on how fast you go through it all, but I loved it.
Yeah.
For honorable mention, Portal 2.
Yeah.
Because the puzzle solving with 2 players was really brain teasing and a lot of fun and very clever.
Yeah.
It was very close between that and Trenched.
Yeah, I'm going to throw that in. Kush also wrote us about Portal 2, and he said that he almost wants to say Dark Souls for the cheap thrill of reading other gamers' messages and their hate on the game. But he's going with Portal 2. I had a blast solving puzzles with my co-host on his podcast that he does. And the story was its own funny experience. It's also rather funny watching your friend fail and fail and fail and fail, which I don't think that's that funny. I wouldn't want to play with you, and you're making fun of me for failing over and over. I get pissed off on my own. I don't need somebody else
I just
pointing
mute,
it out.
when we were playing. I just would laugh, but I'd mute the headset, so it all worked out.
Nice. We had a couple other people write in. Full House Poker was mentioned by a couple people. Gears 3, obviously, was another big one for people.
That was good.
Trenched / Iron Brigade, I guess it is now. Portal 2 from a couple other people.
Plus, it's got a new mode now.
Does
when
it?
they changed their name, they had a free
Added some stuff?
Yeah, patch or whatever in it. It has a new mode.
Battlefield 3 showed up on somebody's list here for us. And the co-op in Fear 3 was also mentioned for somebody,
Nice.
which I didn't experience, so I can't speak to that, but good to hear some other choices out
That
there.
was the one spelled with 3, right?
Yes, it was. It is.
Three.
For 3.
Very nice.
And then they still put the 3 in, I think, didn't they?
Yes.
I don't know.
Very nice.
How about our surprise game of the year?
Surprise game.
And I will start if you guys like
Okay.
me. There were a handful of
This is
games.
hard for me.
Yeah, I'm going to actually give you some of my runner-ups too, because there were a couple that I guess my categorization of surprise game of the year was something that going into the year I wasn't looking forward to at all, didn't know anything
Right.
about.
Yep. Same here.
And it just pops up. It's not necessarily something that I thought was going to be terrible and it ended up being good.
Yeah.
A couple
Although
of them maybe
sometimes
fit that.
fact-
Yeah.
factors in
Because I did have that for one of them, which would be Mortal Kombat, which I'm so over fighting games. And I grabbed this game. I'm like, let's see what they did. And they did some awesome shit. It was a lot of fun to run through that game, and it felt great. Captain America Super Soldier was a lot more fun than it should have been. That should have been a terrible tie-in, cheesy piece of shit game. Especially, they budget priced it or whatever, and it was like the Thor game came out like the month before, and I'm like, it's going to be another Thor. This is terrible. And it essentially, I think we said on the show, it was the Batman. I mean, they did the detective mode version. It was, you felt like Batman, but the play was done really well. The environment that you were in was fun. It was a fun experience.
The style.
It was a lot more fun than it should have been. I also had the same thing with Dead Island, where I had built myself up this whole big thing about, is it going to be able to even be? It's not going to be. It's going to be terrible. There's this trailer. The trailer looks great. The gameplay is going to be blah, blah, blah. It ended up being a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. But ultimately, my pick was something that came out of a non-existent space for me, and that is Shadows of the Damned. And that game was a blast.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with that game.
That was close to being on my disappointing game of the year.
Oh,
but whatever.
man. It was so great.
I think I have some quotes from that game somewhere in here.
No,
About,
don't even bother.
about pubes on the door.
People can go back. Don't even talk shit about him. He was awesome.
I'm not talking shit. That's a good line. I used it like 2 or 3 times over Thanksgiving.
I was expecting nothing from that. That game came out of nowhere for me, and I loved it. I loved all the people involved with it. It like just hit on everything, and I had a blast with it. And it was so over the top that I had so much fun. So that was my pick.
That's right.
Shadows of the Damned.
And for those of
Everybody
you,
should
for
play
those of you who are fairly new to the show, this category is also sometimes called the 50 Cent category.
The crystal. The Crystal Skull?
Yeah, because of 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which was a game that should have been terrible, that we all kind of frowned upon when we looked at it. And then, Jeremy, you tried it out
I
first.
played it. I'm like, you all need to play this fucking game.
and then it became one of our favorite games from that year. So yeah, Shadows of the Damned, I can definitely see that fitting into the 50 Cent category.
That's all I could think of when I thought of the category.
Yeah.
So
yeah, excellent. Sean, you want me to go first, or you want to go?
You can go.
Okay,
I'm still laughing at those quotes.
Mine was difficult because I don't know if I was better informed about games this year or if I was more spot on. Well, anyway, so I wasn't.
was I smarter or more perfect? I can't decide between the two. That's how I heard that.
That's the way you want to take it. Okay, then. But I mean, like,
we're all friends here.
Like, my expectations were usually met when I went into a game. Like,
right.
If I expected it to be good, it
you
was
were
good.
Realistic expectations.
If I expected it to be bad, it was bad. The one that kind of slid by that, and it's fairly recent, is actually Voltron: Defender of the Universe.
Wow.
Because again, there had been a lot of bad twin stick shooters this year, and
property tie-ins.
property tie-ins, and so and plus, I still don't know anything about the whole Voltron battling segment, which is the part that I saw beforehand and looked really kind of weak. And then even when I first started, I'm like, everybody's so tiny, I don't know about this and all, but just spending 5 minutes with it, and I'm like, this is a lot of fun, and doing some really interesting things like the dudes running around outside the lion until it recharged, and actually was very competent and kind of in the same vein of like the Batman tie-ins and the Transformer tie-ins, where it's that's an honorable mention there for me for surprise game was Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Oh, really?
The third one
wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh.
It was. I
didn't hate it. That was the surprise, but that's why I didn't pick it, because that's a pretty mild one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Voltron. Yeah.
Cool. Mine, I got.
You're already cracking yourself
Portal
up.
2. Portal 1, I was clueless at the time.
Yeah,
Orange Box, I didn't even finish the
Orange
game.
Box. What's that?
Yeah, what are we talking about? I got an Xbox. It's green sometimes. But Portal 2, that surprised me. I had a lot of fun with it. I actually sat and listened to it, and it got me to go back and play the first Portal, which then I sat there and listened to it and had a lot of fun with it, and actually said, hey, this is how the game's supposed to be played. Not me just trying to port through things and not pay attention to what's going on. This one's kind of a cheat because I think it came out at the end of December.
Cheat. Portal 2?
Tron was another one that I thought,
Evolution?
Yeah.
That game was terrible.
Is this on your pick?
I liked
I'm
that.
confused.
No, I liked that game. I thought that was. I wasn't
I
expecting.
think he's
that.
still giving up.
No,
these build-ups?
No, these are build-ups.
Okay, you got to contextualize things, man. I thought you were saying Portal 2 was your choice.
But then no, Portal 2 is not my choice.
Oh, okay.
It's a good choice, but it's not mine. And then I liked Tron. I thought it was good. Multiplayer, I had a lot of fun with it. It didn't win multiplayer, but I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it looked good, and it was a good story-wise. The camera control was a little bad.
Yeah,
Anyway,
a little bad.
Saints Row 3.
Fucking terrible.
Saints Row 3, I wasn't expecting to even like that game, and it pulled me right in. Captain America fucking saved the day, because that game, I don't care. That's my surprise game. I thought it was going to be shit.
Super Soldier?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I thought it was going to be shit, and I had so much fun with that game. Just the whole, like, when it went to the sepia tone, like the detective mode. I mean, I wasn't ready. I enjoyed Thor. I enjoyed Green Lantern.
Ugh.
But Captain America made those games look like the pieces that everybody thinks they are.
Exactly. You saw them for what they were. You saw them for what they were after you played Captain America Super Soldier.
Yeah, well,
those were good games.
I would still play it, though.
I know you would.
But
you can only tell that if they're in sepia tone.
But I just enjoyed Captain America a lot, and that one I wasn't expecting to. It's
awesome.
It's a licensed product. I mean, a movie licensed product. So yeah.
Word. We had some other folks. Saints Row the Third was on a number of people's lists as far as just being a lot more fun than they thought it was ever going to be. Bulletstorm showed up for a couple people.
I could see that. I didn't get around the plane.
Dead Island, Bastion made it into this category as well.
Interesting.
Because it came out of nowhere for some folks.
Sure.
Rayman Origins, which we haven't been able to do any justice to on the show.
No.
I've played a little bit of it, but I want to play some more before we, get into it, because I think it deserves it. And we had a couple write-ins here. Snakehead Fish from our forum said Lord of the Rings War in the North. And he says, holy crap, and I think this is maybe pointed at us, screw the reviewers who were blinded by the big titles that were released around the same time. This game is total fan service for those who love the movies and the books. It's incredible co-op, hack and slash, fun, and very beautiful. He craves DLC for it. It would have taken the best multiplayer game. It would have taken the best multiplayer game if Gears wasn't so damn good for him. So good to hear that, because we didn't talk about that on the show at all, because we ignored it because of all the other good games that came out.
Better games.
Like he talked about.
And you hate hobbits.
And yeah, that's correct. I have a problem with hobbits. BuckyCat98 again wrote in on this one and said, Once Upon a Monster, the Sesame Street Connect game,
nice.
Saying that she bought this for a post-Thanksgiving get-together where the young children will be present. However, her 13-year-old daughter and I couldn't stop grinning while trying the demo and plan on play the game themselves. By the way, the little ones loved it too. They quickly learned to keep in the target area for the sensor and played all day. A complete winner all around.
Nice.
That kid element is something we don't ever get to touch on.
No,
so it's good to hear
really
from
cool.
other folks.
Yeah.
So, good to hear.
I wanted to try that game too. The
Once
demo
Upon a
was
Monster?
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't even tried the demo. So, all right, I'm going to move on to a category that always gets written in anyway, so I just decided to add it to our list, and that is our disappointing game of the year. We try to keep it normally pretty positive, but there are disappointments that happen throughout the year. So who wants to start that one off?
I'll start off. Mine. At first, I'm like, I don't know what I'll pick but then I remembered which ones I would pick, and it's a tie. Actually, it's a tie.
Oh, okay, cool.
And because they're similar, Ghostbusters Sanctum of Slime and Red Faction Battlegrounds, the two XBLA tie-in twin stick shooters. Those are the ones I kept referencing to earlier in the show. The ones that really dowered my view of twin stick shooters and tie-in games early
Bad
in
start
this
of the year.
Yeah, both of which just did not really do anything for me at all. But yeah, there you go.
And they were terrible.
They were pretty. Anyway, they're my picks for disappointment of the year. Let's put it that way.
I had a couple to go between
Because I was really looking forward to them.
one in particular that I was leaning towards, and this is not my pick, was X-Men Destiny. I did not like that game at all, and I didn't feel that game was anywhere near what it could have been or should have been, especially coming out of Acclaim's work with, Activision's work with Acclaim. I'm going with a company that's out of business now. That's great. Activision's work with the Spider-Man games, and like them getting better. Like I kind of was expecting that to happen, and it didn't. Call of Juarez, the Cartel, was terrible. And I really liked Bound in Blood, so I was kind of had high hopes for that going in. I did not like the way that went. My pick, hands down, was Red Faction Armageddon. And it's because of my love for Guerrilla.
Sure.
And it was my apprehension that I had with Armageddon going into this year, and worrying about the things that they did with the game, putting it underground, putting it in restrictive areas, putting it in the dark, having monsters be your enemy, turning it into dead space, and all of those things happened. And while I powered through it and I finished that game, so there you go. But while that happened, I did not enjoy the experience the whole way through, and certainly not on the level that it should have been coming from Guerrilla for me.
Yeah.
So there's my pick: Red Faction Armageddon.
I've got three that disappointed me.
Wow.
Crisis 2. I couldn't get into that game. Okay. I thought it looked good, but it didn't win me over, and I was having a problem with controls and just the gameplay of it. Not because I'm stupid, because I'll play a game. I won't get too frustrated. I'll play a game. Call of Juarez was also on there.
Okay.
Because it was so separate from the other game, and the gameplay I didn't care for. And Brink.
Yeah,
Brink won me over for disappointing, because I was more disappointed with the fact that if they would have thrown a campaign, I would have fucking loved that game.
Yeah,
like some kind of campaign, because the campaign they threw in there was just It felt like a multiplayer respawn. You know, you were playing one person, but you would respawn after you died, and you'd have to keep doing. You know, I just thought for the way it looked, and I dug kind of the story for it. I was just more I was disappointed with it. I wanted to yell at it.
Wait, did Vanquish come out this year?
Send it to its room.
That was last year.
That was last year. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say that could be my surprising game.
We had some write-ins.
That was a good game.
We had some write-ins here. Some other folks wrote in X-Men Destiny for us. Dungeon Siege 3 popped up on this list. Somebody wrote in Rage, which actually that was almost into my surprise. I liked that a lot more than I thought it was going to.
Mixed opinions about Rage. I can understand.
I think that it also depends on what your outlook was going into it.
Yeah.
Like, I expected not much from it, so I liked it.
Sure.
And if somebody had high expectations, it could probably be disappointing, because it is pretty linear and tight. Also, the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, which they didn't really expand on why that was the case, but they wrote in, so I don't know what is going there. We had another one from Snakehead Fish, though. He wrote in for the disappointing game of Hunted the Demon's Forge. He had built this game up in his head, and it didn't come close to that. He enjoyed it for what it was worth, but he had hoped that it would be everything that eventually what Lord of the Rings turned out to be, the winner in the North. So I guess he got his winning game.
Yeah, sure.
It just took a roundabout way. Kush also wrote in and said there are plenty, but he's going to go with the freshest and certainly one of the biggest, and that is The War of the Worlds. My expectations went from non-existent to rather high in a short amount of time, and when it finally came out, I played it, I beat it, I hated it, and I reviewed it.
Oh, he at least beat it.
And let's
haven't been able to finish that one, and that's not because of laziness. I cannot get through that thing.
And let's not forget, it features one of the most ridiculous achievements of all time: complete the game in one sitting without dying.
Oh, fuck that!
Fudge that up its poop hole, he says. So
I'll translate that. Fuck that up its asshole. That is
Thank you,
shit.
Craig.
No problem.
Because it is horse shit.
That one didn't count as disappointing because I didn't really have any expectations at all going into it. But yeah, that was a pretty terrible game.
It's a bad experience.
But there are elements that really shine in that game, but it is so poorly executed in the end. Disappointing.
All right.
Disappointing. Hey, there you go.
Well, I'm going to move on to all we have left is our big single.
I think this shows the bent of our show here that this is the one that you saved for last.
What, the single player
experience.
What should it be?
What?
I don't know.
It usually that would have to be.
I'm saying for some
it's
people,
like movie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. That shows the bent of our show. That the highlight of a game is its single player experience.
That's correct.
Yeah, good point.
Not the multiplayer. Who
They
cares?
should do. Well,
We did that like 3 categories ago.
what if you don't have live and
That's
what
like
if you don't
foreign
have
lang-
friends?
that's
You
like
should have a campaign to play.
I'm not saying
I know.
we're
I know.
wrong.
I know.
I'm just saying.
It's like foreign language show on our show. It's the foreign language category. Yes. Best foreign language movie. Best animated movie. That's multiplayer experience. Single player experience. I really don't know why I would go anywhere but first, because mine is a foregone conclusion, I believe, at this point, and that's Skyrim. Duh. There's nothing that can even compete. And some people wrote in. I've talked about it, for like probably 2 total hours on the show in the last couple episodes, so I don't really see any reason to go on again. You know why I love the game. I know why everybody else loves the game, and it's awesome. And everybody should play it, always. And never stop.
Living in fear of your patches.
We gotta, living in fear of patches. No,
You're like in a police state where you get a lot of benefits or
I
something.
think here's the key to that whole thing. There's all those problems with the patches.
Yeah.
I still have 120, 30 hours on the game, and that's amazing to me.
Right.
Like, there's all these problems, but it doesn't even affect me. Or if it does, it's so minuscule that there's still enough other things you can do.
That makes sense.
So that's a pretty strong statement, too, about the game. So that's my pick easily. And there's going to be some other folks that chime in with that probably say things better than I could. So we'll let them say it.
I didn't play a lot of disc games, and not that this is solely a disc game category, because we're talking single player experience.
Exactly.
And my multiplayer was a XBLA game, but you get a longer single player experience with disc games, and so they tend to stand out a little bit more. I do have some honorable mentions to mention later, but
Me too.
Mine, I guess, would go. It was really hard to decide, and not really because I don't know. It was just like I couldn't immediately think of something that I was like, that was my best single player experience. I had to really kind of think about, what did I play? I guess I like this the most. Was Batman Arkham City. Because I guess that was my Skyrim where, I've completed 100% in the main quest,
right.
Or in the main story, and done a ton of the challenge rooms, and just being able to go back to some of the very familiar things, but then have it all be very different as well. Yeah. And then, I just really, really had a lot of fun with that game. It was fun for my girlfriend to watch me while I was playing it. She enjoyed watching it and making fun of, Riddler goons with me and stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mine went, this was a hard one. I got some honorable mentions, but this was mentioned earlier, and I'll probably get made fun of, but
I can't wait.
Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon. It was the best cross between War of Cybertron and a Transformers movie game, because they had the same type of vibe to it.
Yeah.
They had the same feel, and I had a lot of fun with that single player.
Is that your pick?
Yeah.
I'm fucking murdering you.
We talk about single.
It was War of Cybertron light for me.
It was terrible.
I think is what I call it. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible at all.
It was okay.
Well, Skyrim was okay.
Yeah, but
oh my god!
But it wasn't fucking terrible.
We're gonna,
you just tried to call it terrible.
If we're gonna do this, I know this was my pick.
Yeah,
it's your pick.
I forgot that this is your pick.
Your pick is terrible
because I think your pick is terrible.
Okay,
it works out.
All right.
And I
OMG,
even
both of you shut up.
I even set it up before I said it.
That you were going to get slammed for it, right?
Yeah, because I enjoyed it.
So
I
you
had
knew it
a
was coming.
fun time playing it, and that's what this is. The category to me is about. I had a fun time playing it. I'm not telling people to go out and buy the fucking thing.
That's good
because they should buy it and send it to me. But I had a lot of fun playing it.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. I liked the transforming on the fly. I dug the way.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I thought I had a lot. I thought they did a really good job with it, and I had fun with it. So I mean, that's what it comes down to, right?
That is exactly what it comes down to. You guys are nuts.
I have a lot of honorable mentions, but that
What do you
one-
have for honorable mentions?
L.A. Noire.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that was. I mean, that one was a little.
That's mine too.
It wasn't what I was expecting, but I had a lot of fun with it. I think if it was a little bit open, I would probably played a lot more of it. I loved Gears 3, the campaign. I just wish it lasted longer. It would have killed every other game out there. In Modern Warfare 3, that campaign, that single player game, there was some craziness that happened in it. I liked the way they mixed it up, and yeah, that one was another one.
forgot you
Arkham City
played all the way through
Arkham
that.
City's, I mean, that's another.
Yeah,
just
Arkham City's on my list too.
really
obviously.
good. Yeah.
Portal 2 came
Portal
in for me
2
too. That
is
was really
an honorable
strong.
mention on mine.
L.A. Noire, like you said, Sean. Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 was probably, if it wasn't for Skyrim, it would have been Dead Space 2.
Really?
Yeah, there would have been no question about that for me.
Interesting.
I just, the overall package of that game,
Okay.
from sound design, from gameplay, from touching back, referencing things in one, from doing what it did, like it just was a complete package.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Skyrim, it would have been that.
Bastion was also on my honorable mentions because, that was one of the reasons why I was on an honorable mention for XBLA.
That's what I hear.
Single player experience. There you go.
We got a couple write-ins. Skyrim obviously was a number of people that wrote in. Saints Row the Third for a couple of people. Somebody wrote in Dark Souls as well. Batman Arkham City showed up a number of times. Kush wrote in and said that Skyrim is what he wanted Oblivion to be. It's what I wanted out of a sequel to Morrowind. He spent well over 100 hours in the game, and he's barely scratched the surface. Every time I sign in, I only want to play Skyrim. Hell, that sentence rhymed too. Unintentionally awesome. What is abundant in Skyrim? So there you go. Johnny, you also wrote in and said, much like Red Dead Redemption the year before, I felt almost not a bit guilty not picking a much more charming and sleeper type hit, but I cannot. Skyrim will rule my gaming for months to come, and it's a setting that he never gets tired of. And he goes on to explain that his love of the music in itself is enough to keep him inspired and keep playing. And then we had also BuckyCat98, who said, even after 170 hours of Skyrim, nerd, by the way, seriously, 170? Even after 170 hours in Skyrim, Dragon Age 2 remains atop my 2011 list.
That was fun. I still have
Thanks
fun with
to
it.
story, dialogue, and characters. To me, its flaws were minor compared to the thoughtful design considerations in other areas. I really liked how the skill trees and upgrades were done. Yes, assets were reused, but exploration was rewarded in each act.
Yeah.
And I felt the way I chose to play Hawk was always well represented in the scenes when Hawk was not under my control. Those variables and the resulting differences have made me enjoy my replays just as much as the initial run.
Yeah.
And Dragon Age 2 was far more satisfying as a follow-up to Dragon Age than Mass Effect 2 was as a follow-up to its original. Skyrim has my attention these days, but hasn't surpassed the enjoyment I've had with Dragon Age 2.
Cool.
Which we didn't hear a lot of Dragon Age 2, and I forgot, I kind of forget about that game because it was quite a while ago. And
Yeah,
I
that was
enjoyed
very
playing that
early
game a
in the
lot, too.
year. Yeah.
So I'm glad that was a write-in.
I still want to go back to that game. No, really.
I do, too.
Yeah, because I think I cursed you for making me play it because then I wanted
Because you wanted to get it, yeah. God, you could probably get it for like $8 now somewhere.
Probably. Yeah.
Knowing how games go.
Yeah.
We only had one, and this is kind of disappointing for me. We only had one write-in category that we didn't offer. However,
We keep expanding the number of categories. It makes it a little harder.
it was Lunchbox 700, and he wanted to know. It's actually a question to Sean and I.
Oh, goodness.
It doesn't even involve
That's
you,
not a
Craig.
category. That's a question.
He wants to know our favorite Craig Tourette's moment. Which I'm assuming he means Craig Meltdown on the show where he goes off on somebody. Angry Craig.
Angry Craig.
I don't have Tourette's. Come on. That's a serious condition.
Sorry. Don't
Don't
minimalize
belittle it.
I can only really think this year, your one time going off on, I think is when you wished everybody who made the camera system in Batman Arkham City dead. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I still think my Final Fantasy one is the favorite, but that was last year,
Yeah,
so I
that
don't
one-
think that counts.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that one.
Angry Craig.
Yeah. Angry Craig's a good Craig.
He is a good Craig.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's
Happy
it for
Craig's a good
2011.
Craig, too. Yeah.
I like it.
My favorite Angry Craig's the one that shows up after we finish recording.
I don't like that one.
Darn it.
He hurts me. Emotionally, not physically or sexually.
That's right, because you like it that way.
Emotional abuse. That's how it is. All right, so that is our 2011. We're going to quick look now at our 2012, things that are coming up in the year 2012. Anything that we're looking forward to.
Yep.
I'm going to recap real quick. Do you guys want to know what you were looking forward to a year ago?
Okay.
Thanks for playing along, Craig.
No problem.
Sean, you had a ton of picks for this year.
I did.
How did you do?
I did pretty good, other than Connect Star Wars.
Didn't he have that motorcycle game? Was that on there?
No, the 60s
I think that-
game.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
still slated to come out in 2012.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on that one.
He
the soapbox game that I call him, sandbox game.
He passed over that one last year, so he gave them this year to get it done, I guess. Sean, your picks, it looks like you had Dungeon Defenders.
Yeah.
And I listened back to that
wow.
show, and that was coming out in January of last year, so that took a while
Wow.
to actually get out. You had You Don't Know Jack. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder Arcade. How'd
was
that
terrible.
go for you? Child of Eden, Star Wars Connect,
No, that never came out.
Russian Attack Expatriate, which
Yeah.
you mentioned. Gears 3, Retro City Rampage. Where the fuck are you, Retro City Rampage? X-Men
the
Destiny.
past.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
You did pretty good. And then you had Homefront and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which you said Homefront will probably be your game that you pick that you don't end up playing.
Yeah. And
How
I
did that
didn't.
go?
I don't even remember.
You nailed it.
What?
Perfect.
I don't even. Oh.
That was the
Yeah.
North Korea invades America.
Yeah, that was a cool idea.
I listened back to it. You said, I like the setup. It'll probably be my pick that I never end up playing. And it totally was. So way to go. You nailed it.
Congrats.
Awesome.
My short list was actually Dead Space 2, Batman Arkham City, Stacking, Mass Effect 3, which got pushed.
Yeah.
Missplosion Man.
Yeah.
LA Noire. I nailed it, by the way. This is an amazing list. But I skipped over one.
Are you giving yourself a boner right
I totally
now?
am.
Is that
I
what
usually
you
do. I skipped over one, which would be Red Faction Armageddon.
Yeah.
Which was my disappointing game of the year.
shit.
And I believe I mentioned on there that I was completely apprehensive about it. So I did give myself an out on that one. Craig, you also had
Boner maintained.
You also had Dungeon Defenders on your list.
Yeah.
That will be my new Xbox name next year.
Boner maintained.
In 13, I
you
will
might
become
have some
Boner
problems.
Maintained.
Boner maintained.
Yeah.
You gotta spell it funny.
Yes.
Continuing on with Craig's list, you had Red Faction Battlegrounds,
Yeah, I mentioned that I was looking forward to that. That's why I was disappointed.
Ghostbusters, Sanctum
Yeah,
of Slime.
I was looking forward to both of
Exactly.
those.
Spare Parts. You like that game, right?
I did like that game. I still want to get back and play the multiplayer.
Rock
with
of
it,
Ages,
which turned out to be really fun.
Portal 2,
Yeah.
Fez, which is
Yeah.
still MIA.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
coming,
yeah.
I think.
Come on, Fez.
And Portal 2.
You said Portal 2 twice.
Did I?
Yeah,
I
twice.
met Retro City Rampage. was also on your list. So I'm going to kick off my 2012 looking forward tos with Retro City Rampage. And I'm sure you guys are going to join me this year.
I'd like to see Fez.
I would like, so would I. I hope that comes out this year
Yep.
finally. But Retro City Rampage, can you please get the fuck out? What
Yeah.
the hell?
No doubt.
There was a playable
No
version
diggity.
at San Diego Comic Con. What's going on?
Don't put an arcade in my Explosion Man. Missplosion Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's got a cabinet in there, doesn't it?
Word.
And I believe she's making an appearance in the game too.
Yup. That was announced. I'm like, well,
How about we get that game out?
yeah.
Maybe that's what they're waiting for. Now they can get
You
going.
better put Mara in there, too.
So anyway, that was my
guys
kickoff of 2012.
Isn't it like one dude making the game?
Yeah, I know. You know that we're not serious. Like I'm going to beat the guy out. I don't have a bat. I just want to play the game.
That's the only thing holding you back.
Well, I'm saying I don't have it in my hand. I don't own one either, but if I did, it's not like I'm threatening him.
This must have been one that I left off last year to give it a year.
Luckily, you did
year
it.
to catch up. Aliens: Colonial Marines, which looks like it actually is going to come out this year.
You did give it a reprieve
breather,
last
yeah,
month.
reprieve, yeah.
Last year, I should say.
Yeah, because I was on the year before that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think and before.
Yeah.
Nice.
You gave it a year off, and now it's going to happen.
Yes, but now we got videos and gameplay
You just had
shots
to back
and
off.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Just less pressure. See, you guys just need to back off on Retro City Rampage.
know.
He'll finish it, but
I'm
you guys
sorry.
are just like making him freak out, pulling his hair out. Oh shit! Now I got to get it done. Brain lock.
Mine,
Go, Sean.
I'm looking. I want Darksiders 2 coming out.
Yeah.
I
That's on my list too.
after I was able to go back and finish that up after the Xbox, the nuke one came in, and I played it, fell back into it, and just fell in love with it again. And I want that game.
Did you catch that teaser that they put out for it? That shows some stuff. Well, it doesn't show gameplay, but
Yeah. I don't
teasing the game.
gameplay.
Whatever.
I've watched so many different trailers, and I'll play the game.
Hoo-ha.
What?
I don't know. I agree. I'm looking forward to it.
Did you just turn into
Here's a,
Robert De Niro over there?
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. Sorry.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I'm curious to see where they go with the different character and
Yeah.
like what that does.
Oh,
but, we'll see how that works out. Another one I have on my list is the Alan Wake XBLA game that's coming out this year.
Is that gonna come out?
The American Nightmare.
I got a question mark next to mine.
I'm pretty sure it's coming out. I
Yeah,
think they're
no,
pretty.
it's pretty.
They're pushing it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Clear it's
And so
coming
they're
up.
doing an XBLA version of it, and I think they're pretty up on making it playable by people that even haven't played the original Alan Wake, because you obviously don't want to lock
Yeah.
those people out and lose
Yeah.
an audience. So I kind of like that because I'm going to need a refresher, and I'm going to need ease back into what that story was.
I just need to know how much berry is in it. Is there enough berry in there for me?
There's 150% berry.
I hope it's a little bit like Dead Rising Case Zero. I mean,
That'd be
in
kinda
that
cool.
kind of
Yeah.
kind of frame.
Exactly,
you know?
and that's kind of where I'm hoping that it goes
Yeah.
too, where it's that kind of feel of playing the game
Yep.
again. So
cool.
looking forward to it. I think it's a good format for that game.
Continuing our sequel parade here,
Yay.
Transformers: Fall of Cybertron.
Yes.
sir.
Because War for Cybertron was
That one you guys
ton
got.
ton of awesomeness, and even the Transformers: Dark of the Moon was pretty good because they just kind of took the basic elements from War for
Yeah.
Cybertron and
Yeah.
spruced them up to look like the movie variants. And this is it should be good.
Grimlock.
How about that trailer?
Grimlock.
That trailer is amazing.
Grimlock
I know it's no game.
smash.
It's Optimus.
It's no gameplay, but that trailer when that Grimlock shoves that sword into the ground and then he's
yeah.
like womp womp womp, and I'm like, fuck yeah!
Bruticus.
Yeah, I know
totally like-
you were
I
like
was
getting
like-
excited for that.
Oh, Bruticus.
And when Starscream gets punched out,
Yeah.
they're all like fighting, and he's like punch.
Yeah. And then Optimus wants to make out with Bumblebee.
Well, yeah, there is that little bromance
That's
moment.
a weird bromance moment.
They're in love.
I blame Gears of War.
They're soldiers
I do too.
for everything.
One that I want to ask you guys about, because you know how clueless I fucking am. But Fortnite.
Yeah,
They haven't. The things
no
that
idea what you're talking
it's
about.
by Epic Games, and it's more of almost like a cartoony time style, almost like what's that from Orange Box?
Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress
Yeah.
2. They have like that kind of cartoony look, and you're building a fort
Mm-hmm.
before zombies attack.
Yep.
I only seen the trailer, but it just
That
it
sounds
looks a
cool.
lot fun. The design looks really neat, and it just looks kind of crazy. And
they
from the-
haven't. They didn't really say if it's a disc game or an
Yeah.
XBLA. They're not giving any of that information. It looks like it could be an XBLA offering,
Yeah.
but a downloadable game offering. I don't really know. But I could see them also going the disc route, obviously
Yeah.
with Epic's involvement. But then you look at whatever they did with Chair Entertainment, the other game Epic did that I'm blanking on all of a sudden that we love.
Shadow Complex.
Yes, thank you.
Wow.
I'm an idiot.
I was gonna play the game, but I didn't.
Thank you for not, because it would have ruined the
Too
show.
good.
Yeah,
But
you are.
I'm wondering
That's
if
his problem.
it's kind
His
of got.
fault.
I'm wondering if it might be falling on the same lines as the game that was released this year that you
Dead Block.
There he is.
It looks kind of like that, where it's you go out and get supplies, and
Yeah.
then at night, when night falls, the zombies come in, so you have like the day to get your supplies and then build up. I mean, it's just that cartoony trailer is all we
Yeah.
have so far to go on, I think. But
still, for some reason, it's
I
got
agree,
me.
it's got potential.
Yep.
And obviously, you know the people behind it, so
Yeah.
Personally.
Well,
you and Cliffy B hanging out.
that's why I'm acting like I don't know.
It'll probably rock your
'Cause I
dick
know.
off.
Because
You don't want to sound like a ringer.
I already know I'm a beta tester. You guys suck.
Well, I might as well get this one out of the way. Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, you know.
Duh. Seriously. It's like my pick of game of the year.
Oh.
Seriously, Mass Effect 3. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
It got pushed, and I think it was almost a blessing that it got pushed because I
Yeah.
can't imagine if it would have hit in December,
Yeah.
November, December. it would have been chaos for
Yeah.
me. So I'm fine with it being in March.
You would just
know what
been
it-
standing in your house holding both the boxes for Skyrim and Mass Effect 3 and be like, why can't you be together?
You know what it would have been for me?
Shouting it.
It would have been like my own little personal Holocaust. And I'm not overstating that at all. That is not overstatement at all.
No.
That's how it would have been. Sophie's choice. My own little Holocaust. Which one do
Opinions
I
and
play?
viewpoints stated on Signed In Podcast
Are all Craig's.
are not necessarily the opinions.
I'm
of
reading Craig's script that he given
Pseudo
me.
Radio
So
Productions.
can't tell you.
Wait, I am the one that has the script writers.
Oh,
Come on,
that's right.
continuity, get in it.
It's Mass Effect 3. I'm sure I'm alone. Nobody else is looking forward to it.
You well,
I'm on
I'll play
that
it.
tip.
I always play it for the show.
Last one I've got on here is BioShock Infinite.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed BioShock 2 even quite a bit, even though a lot of people poo-pooed it. But this one looks to be to do a lot of really great changes and kind of liven it up.
All the right kind of changes.
When they showed all that,
Hence, really great.
like when they
Those really great wrong changes. I was looking forward to them actually.
when they showed the
Sorry,
the hook,
just adding on.
the hook thing, like the hook and the
Yeah.
rail
Yeah,
systems. Yeah. I mean, I was already in love with it from the trailer, and
Mm-hmm.
then I saw that kind of stuff. It's just I've kind of tuned myself out for it, but that was definitely on the list.
Cool.
But also on the list,
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto.
If it comes out this year.
If it comes out this year, I got my fingers crossed.
I can get my 5 achievement points.
I don't think it's going to come out this year.
I've got my fingers crossed.
I think the trailer that we're going to get is going to show us like spring of 2013 or whatever.
I want fall.
That's my guess.
yeah.
And you know what? The other thing I believe 100%, it might say holiday 2012, and then it'll just end up getting pushed till March or April anyway.
Yeah. But I've got my fingers
May.
crossed. I'd like to see it come
agree.
out. But it's also there's another game that's out there, and the Avengers movie tie-in game. I don't know if it's going to happen. I
I'm
didn't
sure
look
it'll
at,
happen.
I know it will, yeah. But I'm not, after what Captain America brought to the table,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Do you know who's
If-
attached to it?
No,
Like,
I
who's
don't
doing
know.
it?
I don't
Okay.
even know. I know that it's going to happen, and I'm looking forward to that regardless of who's attached to it. I'm just looking forward to it. Because I'm looking forward to the Avengers movie and to have
Yeah.
all those guys. And I would like to see
If they
what
can do it right.
If they could do the game right, it might be a piece of shit, and then I can make fun of it on the show. So I'm looking forward to either way.
Why can't Activision do it and then they do a Marvel team up type or the Marvel whatever game that I can't ever think of?
Marvel Legends?
Yes.
Or Marvel...
One of those.
No, that's not it. X-Men Legends.
X-Men
Marvel
Legends.
Buddies.
I want it to be like the X-Men Legends game. See that game I can remember the name of, so
damn it,
I'm
I
going to go with
totally-
that.
The Marvel Alliance, by the way.
Ultimate
Yeah.
Marvel Alliance,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm like a 90-year-old man all of a sudden on this show. I think in my brain
All
is
of a
just
sudden,
fried.
maybe you've forgotten.
I think I have. One that's on my list, and I don't know that this is a for sure 2012, but I have a feeling that it is Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk going around about that too, and I know that they're doing some more work stuff on it. So I'm hoping to see some more information about that coming out soon.
Yeah.
And I hope that that's another 2012 release because I love me some Borderlands.
It's amazing how I enjoy Borderlands, that game, because it's not the game for me.
I know, it's
not
weird,
my
right?
ear.
paper.
It's yeah,
Yeah, if somebody's had a first-person shooter RPG,
And I'd
Sean
be-
would be like, fuck you.
I was like, get out of my face. But then I play it, and I'm like, this is awesome. That was my downfall when my Xbox quit playing that time. It
broke.
It was always playing Borderlands.
Yeah.
And then it stopped playing Borderlands, and I was so upset. I didn't care that it wasn't
killed
playing,
a homeless guy
It
for
wasn't
that.
playing Gears 2. It wasn't playing any of those games. I didn't care, but it was playing Borderlands.
Hired to enact his will.
And done.
And we
That's it. That taps out my list that I
Yeah.
had, my short list,
Yep.
I should say.
Yeah. And then a lot of stuff's going to hit us and come
That
out
we don't even
come in
know.
our faces, and it's just going to...
Whoa.
No.
It's a different kind of show, I
I'm
think.
going to be looking forward to a lot of XBLA stuff. And
Yes.
stuff
Yes,
as well.
yeah. If they have anything what they did this year, I mean,
It was
a
it
lot
was
of good
great,
stuff.
yeah.
A lot of weird stuff, but a lot of good
great
stuff.
year for
Yeah.
downloadable titles.
We got a lot of write-ins, obviously, from people as well, things they're looking forward to. Covered a lot of things that we already talked about. Borderlands 2 was mentioned. Mass Effect 3, Bioshock
Why do
Infinite.
they got to keep copying us?
I have no idea. We had some mentions of The Witcher 2. which I know a lot of people. That was a PC
RPG.
RPG that came out, and it's going to finally, hopefully, be coming to the consoles as well next year. Lollipop Chainsaw, which I don't know a lot about, but James Gunn, the director, that's his game that he's been working on, so there's some interest there. Final Fantasy 13-2 does nothing for me, but glad to hear somebody else is looking forward to it. I'd like to hear Craig get mad about it.
13-2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? Seriously.
They did one of that for
I know.
Final Fantasy X.
I just didn't think they were going to do it again.
It's technically Final Fantasy XIII 2. Wait, I think I stuck too many I's.
Some other folks. I'm going to stick something in your eye. Ghost Recon Prey 2, Kingdoms of Amalur, which is that
I'm not familiar with this
Todd
one.
McFarlane game that he's doing with EA.
Yeah.
And I think it's the lead designer on the game is from Elder Scrolls 3 and 4, Morrowind and Oblivion, and so it's like an RPG action. I think it's like a mix of like Oblivion. The stuff I was looking at or that I've heard about it is like a mix between God of War and Oblivion. So like an RPG action adventure that you probably lots of button pressing, button mashing. Hack and slashing.
A lot of spawn chains.
And you can pick a new...
I didn't mean those chains. Yeah, I meant spawn chains.
Yeah, probably a lot of that. And then a couple here that we have that expounded a little bit. We had Kush that wrote in and said Mass Effect 3. I'm both extremely excited and kind of glad to be done with it. And I'm going to say that I kind of feel that same way. I love the games. I love the series, but there is a definite strong point of putting an end period on a game.
Oh, sure.
And, you know, Gears 3, I'm kind of done that I'm glad that it's done, you know.
Wow.
And so... It's not as far as that story. Yeah, I know. Don't worry, we'll get the prequel.
Yeah.
And he adds on here with, it's just been one hell of a ride, and I don't know if I can take much more. And I'm on the side who wants to see Tally's face, which, as a player, I don't want to see Tally's face. I don't care. I'm fine with Tally staying hidden.
I forgot to mention one.
Yeah.
But it might come out at the end of this year with Skullgirls. I know that they've been posting stuff. It keeps getting pushed back, but that was one I was looking forward to. It was a fighter. I like the design work on it. Yeah, that's another one.
Well, there you go. And then Bucky Cat also threw in her vote
keep
for...
hearing Bucky Cap.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Bucky
it's
Cat.
Just me.
You can change it if you'd like to.
No.
She threw in,
I like her name.
I feel a caveat is needed for Mass Effect 3. It's probably my most anticipated 2012 game, but after the action focuses of Mass Effect 2, it's also a game that fills me with the most trepidation. As much as I loved Mass Effect 2, my experience still felt hollow compared to the first game. If Shepard has an expanded range of powers, talents, more like Mass Effect 1 than 2, and if the RPG elements are as important as the action elements, ideally more so, then I think it'll be okay. Unfortunately, the VGA trailer and its puzzling side flippy rolls has not reassured me, which looked a little weird because it looked a little Gears-y, the footage that they showed where he was kind of bouncing between cover, and that didn't do much for me either. I had a little concern over that.
You bounced between cover and 2, didn't you?
Yeah, the way that they were playing it on there, and maybe it was just the way that they chose to show that, it looked, I don't know, it looked a little different. I didn't really like it too much. But she did include a note to you directly, Craig, and that was...
Was it OMG Shut Up?
As I recall, no, that's my edition.
Okay.
As I recall, you got some enjoyment out of Risen.
Yes.
A game that currently sits on my physical shelf of shame. What are your thoughts on next year's Risen 2 Dark Waters? Have you seen anything on that yet?
I have not seen anything.
Okay, there's a trailer out there for it.
Well, and to be perfectly honest, I went into Risen pretty blind itself.
You did?
So, yeah.
Because that's also coming out this year, the Risen 2 Dark Waters. I think it's April that they announced. They just announced a release date for it. So I know you enjoyed Risen quite a bit.
Yeah, I actually did. I was thinking about that earlier.
So there you go. So Risen 2 is coming out, so you have no opinion as of yet.
No, I haven't really looked into
Okay.
it. I will probably enjoy it more by going into it that way. No, that's
Then
not,
it won't be a
that's not a
disappointment.
slight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, so that's it.
I hate getting my hopes up because they always just get crushed.
Which is what we do
Batter.
every episode.
I know.
People download it and they go, "This is going to be great," and then
No, they know it's not going to be
Soul-crushing.
good. They know it's not going to be good.
Then they're like, Jeremy didn't play that game again.
why can't Jeremy not make fun of them for the Transformers pick? Because he's an asshole.
I changed all my 2000 things to
Skyrim.
Connect
Yes.
Disney Adventures, Disneyland
Yes.
Adventures. That's
Fuck
all
Mickey
of them.
Mouse.
That's all of them. Every single one down the row because I think you can get an avatar item out of that.
Can you? I want Craig to go back and edit all those.
No.
So every
work here.
every pick is just
Connect Disneyland Adventures.
exactly is Sean going Connect Disneyland Adventures and then describing the game that makes no sense. I love the co-op.
It sounds like me anyway. It all works out.
All right, signinpodcast.com. That is our website. Follow us there on Twitter. You can follow a link to our Facebook fan page, our forums. What are you guys on Twitter? I notice on Polis you guys plug your own Twitter handles. I should probably do that because Sign In Podcast is really just me.
I thought you were just trying to keep us down.
No, there's people that, and I don't ever think about it, and you guys don't ever say anything. So interrupt me, and what is your guys' Twitter handles?
Mine is the Pull List, which is also a great comic podcast that you should probably listen
It's okay.
to.
Sean?
Probably listen to it. You should fucking listen to it. What are you talking? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
While you?
No.
okay.
I'm just putting that on there.
Gotcha.
I don't get to swear on the other show, so I got to get them out while I can.
What a tyrant that runs that other show.
No, we want that show to get out to as many listeners as we
I don't
can.
run that show. This isn't like this show.
I've heard that show. It sounds like it's run.
What?
I don't know.
I don't
What is
know
your Twitter?
anymore. Shonix
Okay.
with only one X.
All right.
Not like-
SEANXY.
Not like YX.
YX.
It's not like my Xbox handle that has three X's
All right.
because I'm a porn star.
Got 18 different names. And Sign In Podcast, that is me, essentially.
Yeah,
I take
or
over
Super
I
Pro
take over that
33.
one. I don't
Where you
use
can
that
get
one.
all your television.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, all your television news and complaints about random bullshit.
once in a while there's a cool link in there.
All right. What, when I would link to your guys' other podcast?
Yeah.
Exactly. You can email us at comments@signedinpodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. And that's about it.
That is.
Next episode in a couple weeks.
I'm gonna play some games.
Our first game talk of 2012.
Good goal.
We're going to play some games.
I am probably more of the same, but
My
I'm gonna
notes,
play them.
my notes for next episode say stuff. In all caps with
The
an
stuff.
exclamation point. So,
That horror movie from the 80s.
yes.
It's on Netflix, man.
Oh my God. Can we go home?
Yeah. to watch
Thanks,
the
everybody.
stuff.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.
If you are receiving this transmission, this has been a pseudo radio production. Repeat, this has been a pseudo radio production, copyright 2011.